Good morning and welcome to another interesting edition of VOP this morning on Voice of the People TV. Today is Tuesday and it's also the third day in the month of December 2024. I am Fina Okechukwu. We have quite interesting lineup this morning for you, and on the radar we're beginning the light on our middle belt, South-South and Southeast state disassociate themselves from Simon Ekpa's 40th State of Biafra declaration that happened yesterday in Finland. And these people demanded, or they are still demanding, for Nnamdi Kanu's release instead of being part of the 40 states that Mazi Simon Ekpa and his team, declared the Republic of Biafra in Finland. Good morning, Mo.
Good morning, Fina. Good morning. Oh, well, what's going on around Biafra? We'll still keep our eyes on it. Biafra, the declaration in Finland, and the rest of the story. But bringing it back home as well, some of the issues. Nigerians criticized President Tinubu over remarks that they were living in a fake good life before fuel subsidy removal.
Interesting.
How accurate is that? Oh, well, I saw in the news today that transporters said Nigerians should expect increase in prices of goods and services in food because of, the December rush and the rest of it. So yes, it's going to be another December where Nigerians will have to scamper to get food on their table. Quite an unfortunate one. And it gets even worse this time around because of the removal of subsidy and the rest. Well,
my own part is on the Yotard season itself, traveling home to be with people, celebrate the festivity with your family members, and the people have been longing to see how would that be possible with a hike. We know it's going to happen again.
Oh yes,
the hike of the transport and all that.
Airfares are off the roof. Road transportation is off the roof. I saw in the news yesterday, insecurity is still, well, for those that travel frequently, I have some sort of respect for them, for their bravery. I saw in the news yesterday that some people were kidnapped on their way from Lagos to Abuja.
Some gunmen kidnapped scores of passengers on GIG mobility.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
And
the funny thing, it's one of the trending topics that we need to talk about today. They were demanding 100 million naira.
Quite laughable. Quite laughable. It's laughable because if one has that amount,
why use the road?
Why would you go by road in the first place?
Why not fly to where you're going to?
And another thing that troubles me in some of this story. Well, this one happened in Obajana area of Kogi State. That was the area where the passengers of this God is Good Motors were kidnapped. Now, what troubles me in all of this is, for some weird reason, the drivers always escape.
That is the thing. There was one bad experience I had sometime, when I was still very much younger me, and they said, Fina, when you're coming home, do so thing. I said, okay, I will. Guess what happened? I decided to use the road, and boom, that night.
You're kidnapped?
There was an armed attack. Highway robbers, was a man. And the funny thing was that the driver locked us in the vehicle and escaped. He locked us in the vehicle and ran away. And later the man came back to say, if I didn't lock you people, some of you want to run away, and we have some ditches, some gully somewhere. You don't know the terrain.
Run into it.
You might run into it, and that'll be a different thing entirely. And
okay, but then locking you people inside.
That is better for us to be robbed than for us to think of running away, and some of us
running into a gully.
Into a gully and all that. I was like, okay, then what about you? Where do you run to? You that run away.
He knew the terrain.
He said you understand the terrain more than we do, and then he said something about him being in the vehicle will make them think that he's kind of challenging them, and he'll be the first person they're going to gun down if that should happen.
Oh, really?
So that was the reason he ran away. But I don't really know why this particular driver
it happens all the time.
Decided to leave the passengers and run away.
Quite an unfortunate one.
I pray that still.
And another troubling thing in this is one of the friends of one of the ladies involved in this kidnap was trying to solicit for funds on social media. Crowdfunding is not the way to go. If you're trying to get funds from people to pay kidnappers, then we are encouraging them. We are letting them know that, look, even if these individuals don't have the funds, they can get it from people. That's not the way to go.
So what do you think they should do?
well, we should report to authorities, and authorities do their job.
Do you remember how a particular man in
I know.
Oh, you know?
I know.
Fine, because I was about going there.
But
If they say don't do crowdfunding, don't give kidnappers ransom, don't pay ransom to them and all that, it's kind of aiding and aiding them to continue doing what they're doing. No problem. Then what happened? Are you not telling us that the lives of those people that are being secured? That's another point to look at, because most of the time we heard about how a family of 4 were kidnapped in Abuja and how an innocent girl was killed also because they couldn't make up or get at the money that these people were asking for. We know some people are turning into a lucrative business, and that is more like a clarion call to the federal government to do more thing in making sure that the issue of insecurity is being cut. We need to cut it out, weed it out, root it out, so that Nigerians will be happy again. All right, and also on our radar this morning, we have another interesting topic. The presidency says there is no provision in the tax reform bills before the National Assembly that will impoverish the northern region of the country. Like some people are saying, the likes of Babagana Zulum of Borno State, said that the new tax reform is a way for the region to be, economically, marginalized or something like that. And not just him, a whole lot of other persons are saying that is a way for making the South to colonize the North. But this time, Bayo Ononuga, the presidential spokesperson, said the bills will either make Lagos, the river state, more affluent than other parts of the country. More.
The insinuations have been going on that this bill, because of the derivation, will benefit Lagos, Ogun State, and Rivers State. Because of some of the permutations. Well, it's a good thing that deliberations are still ongoing. This is, in a way, this is what we should see when bills are put before the Senate, before the National Assembly. There should be deliberations, all right? People should deliberate on it and find out, okay, how does it benefit the people? So that at the end of the day, if it's agreed upon, and the people will know that there was a holistic investigation into it, and it truly benefits the people.
I think this back and forth. We have an issue with this. The northern part of the country thinks that the bill is going to make them to continue being in poverty and all.
In fact, they said they may not be able to pay.
At least they said it's on medium short.
My question now is this. In Lagos State, for example, what is it that Lagos State does that the North cannot do? What is it that River State does?
They tilt it up.
The North cannot do.
We
know that Nigeria is a country that has.
You should tilt it up.
Like God,
just come and get the phone. Come and take the phone.
So much. When I mean mineral resources have so much. Okay, River State will talk about the oil and all that from that region. What happened to the gold? What happened to all that solid minerals that we have?
From what I understand from the tax bills, certain percentage will go to states with population, and I think the North will have, that will work in their advantage, because they have population. Exactly. But it's a good thing that the deliberations are still ongoing. Let's see how this one pans out. It's been suspended indefinitely at the House of Assembly, but it will be revisited because the president is not backing down anytime soon. Exactly. And he's not withdrawing this one. So at the end of the day, let's see what happens. Let's see what plays out.
And also I want to tell them to find a way to make sure that they have enough way to, generate revenue for themselves and stop talking about how, the bill is going to make them to continue being in poverty and all that. We now move to another story where we have the Swiss cement and building materials manufacturers, HOLCIM, announced its exit from Nigeria, citing its strategy to streamline operations and focus on high
please, what did you say? Steve, what did you say are the stories for this morning?
The company plans to sell its 83.8% stake in Lafarge Africa PLC to China Oxane Cement for $1 billion. Multinationals are still exiting the country, and our president is still moving over to war investors for them to come in to do FDI in Nigeria. Imagine how many percent stake that the Swiss company is selling off to China.
Okay, I've seen it.
3.8%.
Well, I'm not going to consider this an exit. I personally will not consider this one an exit. So we know that companies have exited. Some of them sold, their shares to Nigerians. But when that is done, they still have presence. They still have presence in Nigeria. This Swiss company selling the majority of its shares to a China firm basically means that the Chinese company now takes control of the operations. Some things might change, but the company obviously will still exist in Nigeria. Lafarge will continue to produce, but we also know that brands like Dangote Cement, Boa Group, they have, dug their fingers deeper into that sector, the production of cement and the rest of them. But this isn't exactly an exit. Some people might lose their jobs. Some people.
I'm happy you're pointing to that direction, because when you say this is not an exit,
it may not be as significant as a complete exit would have been like. But let's look at a few companies that have exited.
Okay.
Equinor, GlaxoSmithKline, left sometime last year.
That particular one is affecting me personally. Continue.
It is.
It is really affecting.
It's affecting a lot of Nigerians as well, as drug production and the rest have gone up.
Yeah.
Well, we also have Procter & Gamble, Bolt Food and Jumia Food left Nigeria at some point. PZ Cousins, Kimberly Clark as well. And, now this one. But some of them, it's not just leaving per se. They just sell shares and then they continue to operate.
A country that sold 83.8% stake. I don't think that company is still around.
No, they're selling to another company in Nigeria.
Now, Chinese company can decide to say, no, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to take my $1 billion and vacate. When you check the reason they gave before moving, they say that they need to get to a higher growth region, a place where there's sustainability. And they're not seeing that in Nigeria. Are you not telling me that Hoaxin will also see what these people couldn't see that made them to vacate? We're talking about business here and making money.
It's business.
All right.
What is good for one may not be good for another.
Okay. That is how far we can go looking at the trend.
Nigeria and China are having stronger business ties right now. So it might favor the Chinese firm, Huaxin. It might favor them a lot more than the Swiss company. You never know.
That's what you think.
You never know.
We'll keep our fingers crossed as we wait for that to unveil. Anyway, that's how far we can go and looking at the trend and stories that made it to our radar this morning. Just do what you're part of us. Kindly click on the subscription button and subscribe on our YouTube. We are Voice of the People TV, and on all our social media platforms, we are VOP TV Live. Also, visit our website. It's on www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news stories. We'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be taking a quick peep on the cover page of the National Dailies this morning. Stay with us. Welcome back. It's still VOP this morning on Voice of the People Television. And we have before us this morning the Guardian newspaper, the Punch newspaper, the Daily Trust, and a whole lot more. And I would like to start off from the Guardian newspaper. It has its banner headline this morning to be Electricity Act. States face subsidy burden as Lagos leads with $10 billion deal legislation. I would say that again for emphasis sake. Electricity Act. States face subsidy burden as Lagos leads with $10 billion deal legislation. The story is on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. And we have a breakdown. There was a man climbing the pole. And in that breakdown, it reads, Electricity Challenges in Nigeria and States Prospect. Current yearly national subsidy, 2.4 trillion naira. Subsidies growing at 260 billion naira per month. Lagos investment targets $10 billion No of States Domestication Electricity Act 10 plus. That's number of states domesticating electricity act is 10 plus. Total metering gap 7 million plus. Metering gap in Lagos 617,000. Lack of electricity costing Nigeria $28 billion every year. All right, beneath that breakdown, we have other headlines to be Nigeria raises $2.2 billion from latest Eurobond auction. NLC vows to pursue new wage implementation before December. The story is on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. 90% of Nigerians support tax reform bills, says Oyedele. Nigeria records 42,708 related deaths yearly, says NIPWAM. MBF faults amnesty for repentant terrorists. Local council poll makes mockery of democracy, Abbas says. I'll take that again. Local council polls make mockery of democracy. That is coming from Tajuddin Abbas. Human rights lawyers Dele Farotimi alleged threat to life. And the last but not the least of the headlines that made it to the cover page of the Guardian newspaper this morning reads, MAN, that's Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, laments real sector's decline in performance, high inflation, firms exit. And those are the stories you'll find when you go through the Guardian newspaper this morning.
All right, so the Punch we go now. Banner headline on the Punch talks about tax reform. PDP, others urge talks as presidency defends bills. Senators Okpeyemi, Dixon, Kalu, reps back bills. Opposition parties warn FG against using force. And window headlines here. FG auditors probe NNPCL's 2.7 trillion naira subsidy refund claim. 2027, APC dismisses threat by alleged splinter group. Low-income earners can withdraw total retirement savings. PENCOM. All right. Minimum wage strike. Wifuru fumes as 3 states FCT grounded. So NLC hasn't backed on strike in some states. AFCC says a 753 duplex estates hides ex-government top short's identity. Why? 753 duplex estates. Oh well. FG protests Nigerian Army's probe by ICC. Tears as customs officer, wife, four kids die in Osun fire. Tears as customs officer, wife, 4 kids die in Osun fire. Ajayi to appeal ruling upholding Ayedatiwa deputy's candidacy. All right, and these are the headlines from the Punch newspaper.
On the cover page of the Daily Trust this morning, the banner headline there reads 229 police officers killed in 22 months. 229 police officers killed in 22 months. And we have the window headlines to be tax reform bills not to impoverish North presidency. Borno to construct North's first metro rail network. Why we move our daughter's wedding to Barrow's son to Abuja, Bayero's family. And we have other headlines that made it to the cover page of the Daily Trust newspaper to be USD 100 million FDI boost for Enugu water infrastructure. And we have in that pictorial there Mr. Peter Mbadi, governor of Enugu State, and some other dignitaries and those that want to do the water infrastructure for Enugu people. Customs officer, wife, 4 children die in midnight fire. FG begins 50 naira electronic levy deduction from OPay Money Point. FG begins 50 naira electronics levy deductions from OPay Money Point. Manufacturing sectors decline evidence of hostile policies. That is coming from MAN. That's Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. Minimum wage. Workers short FCT. Kaduna, Nasarawa, others. Pupils write exams, turn back in Abuja. I'll take that again. Minimum wage, workers short FCT, Kaduna, Nasarawa, others. Pupils writing exams turned back in Abuja. And due to want of time, that's how far we can go on looking at the cover page of the National Dailies this morning. We'll go on a quick break. I will come back. I'll be touching on the Middle Belt, South, and Southeast state. They associating themselves from Simon Ekpa's 40 states of Biafra declaration that just happened yesterday. They are demanding for the release of Nnamdi Kanu instead. And we'll have with us to help make sense of that in the studio, Prince Francis Chilaka, who is a political analyst, and Barrister Darlington Agomo, VOP in-house analyst. Do well to stay with us.
From the views on the street,
we go to bed empty hunger,
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's law.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people.
All right, thank you so much for staying with us. It's still VOP this morning. Welcome you back as we move straight down to the major topic of conversation this morning. The December 2nd declaration of 40 states of Biafra by Simon Ekpa's faction of IPOB has met with rejection from citizens across the Southeast, South, and Middle Belt. Many leaders in the Southeast have instead urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to release IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu, arguing that his freedom is crucial to reducing tensions and restoring stability in the region. The Ndibo Unity Forum, NUF, has joined calls for Nnamdi Kanu's release, emphasizing that his prolonged detention has fueled unrest, including the disruptive Monday sit-at-home protest. These protests have severely impacted the Southeast, resulting in financial losses and disruption to education. In a statement, NUF leaders criticized past administrations for ignoring calls from Igbo leaders to address the issue, noting that the region's decline in peace and economic stability since Kanu's arrest. In a related development, Finnish authorities have confirmed that Simon Ekpa, the self-proclaimed leader of IPOB, will remain in custody pending trials. Finnish law prohibits bail for offenses of this nature, ensuring Epka remains detained as legal proceedings move forward. His dissension has added another layer of complexity to the ongoing Biafra movement. We have, the videos of some southeastern states, where they are still observing the sit-at-home order, even as some people have come up to say that with Simon Ekpa's arrest, the whole sit-at-home order thing will end in the southeast. But, for example, in a number of states, Epka to be precise, people were nowhere to be found on Monday. The movement actually were kind of sketchy, and other parts of the southeast also still faces same. We have with us in the studio this morning, we have Barrister Darlington Agomo, VOP in-house analyst, he's the one that will help us make sense of this, this topic. We also told you that Prince Francis Chilaka, a political analyst, will join us during the course of the program. Good morning, Barrister Darlington.
Good morning, Fina Moses. How are you?
Good morning, Barrister. Very well.
Good to have you in today's show.
You're welcome.
Again, we have Simon Ekpa, IPOB, on our radar again. Yesterday was the day we talked about the second declaration of Biafra after Ojukwu made a statement to that regard in 1967. Now, some people have come up to disassociate themselves from those, I'm talking about the 40 states he named. In fact, we have the Oman Bara that have the capital to be Onitsha, and so many other states that were mentioned in that 40 states. And the people saying we are not part of this. We don't need another declaration. We don't need another 40 states. We need Nnamdi Kanu to be released. Isn't this more like, will I say, shutting up the agitation that the Igbos have been calling them for all this while?
Fina, I have told you, what's his name? Simon Ekpa is on his own. I don't know why the press and the media have been bringing this topic. It's a non-issue to the Southeasterners, to the Igbos. Simon Ekpa told you that he's just a content creator. When he was arrested, that was what he said. He said he's a content creator. Like any other person you see in the media space who are content creators.
Barrister.
So he had denied all this.
Barrister,
that you people
sorry to interrupt you at this point.
Good.
Did he say that by himself? Did you hear? Because I heard somebody else report that he said it's now an issue of hearsay. Because I didn't hear him in an interview or an audio where he said, look, this is what I am. I'm a content creator on social media. I didn't hear him.
Please, when he was arrested by the Finnish authority and interrogated, he denied being a prime minister in exile. He denied it.
But you know that Simon Ekpa told you that 2nd of December will be the day for the declaration of IPOB, that's Indigenous People of Biafra, in Finland. And he said nothing can stop us from doing this. He even wrote a memo to federal government to that effect. And same yesterday, the declaration was made. 40 states were unveiled. So are you not saying he's just a content creator, or is it a way for the people from the southeast to kind of still disassociate themselves from him and throw him under the bus?
It is not enough for you to give yourself some title that you don't deserve. At the end of the day, what happened with the declaration? The 40 states, did you see them represent themselves in Finland? Please, did you see any of the 40 states sent representative to Finland? Why are we making this thing look as if Simon Ekpa is somebody? Did you see some people, all the 40 states he named, did you see anybody from those 40 states go to Finland and say, yes, we are part of this?
People were part of the people that went for that.
Who? Which people?
Now, Barrister Darlington,
none of them visited Finland.
Barrister Darlington, from what we see, from what is happening, now, we know that there was a call for this declaration. People participated in that declaration that happened.
Who are the
and
people?
40 states were also, being pushed out.
Look.
No, Barrister Darlington, now we saw the video of the people that were chanting the Biafra, and they also were bringing out their information.
Who are these
we
people?
have the names of the 40 states.
Who are these people? Who are the 40 states?
Have this capital to be Abba, that's a former Abia state, and all that. People were there in that. Now, the only thing, are you not saying that those people that were there are not Igbos, or are they not for the Igbo people?
Oh God, did you see anybody from Nigeria where the states are go to Finland and say, yes, we are part of this? Did you see any declaration even in the southeast or Nigeria? These are things that are very vital. If you didn't see all this, then why are you trying to promote what is not there?
Seeing them.
Seeing them what? Anybody can say anything and all. It doesn't matter. After all, Sunday Igboho declared Yoruba state here the other time. Did you see the Yorubas queue behind him? Is he not cooling his head in Germany today? Leave Simon Ekpa. His story is already gone. because they are going to try him on the 25th of, in May 2025. Is that not a fact? I remember when I was on air, somewhere we said, no, Simon Egba was not arrested though. He's not in his house. So I said, okay, if Simon Egba, he has not been arrested and detained, please let him show up in the media space again. Let him go and tell us, look at me, oh, let him make a post again. Until that second was declared and he was not there. How can you declare a state of Biafra and your leader was not present? What are you talking about? Please, I don't want people to fall for this scam. We are tired of all these rabble-rousers disturbing us. We know what we want, not Simon Egba and his group. We have said this severally. They have not impacted, they have not helped the Southeast in any way or form. It's just making us and collecting money from people. What are you talking about? I don't want people to claim that Simon Egba has not done anything to help Biafran cause. He has not. Let it be on record. He declared, and after declaration, what happened? Have you started functioning? Is there anything Simon Egba is sending to the Southeast today and say, yes, the people in the Southeast, they are now in cahoot with Simon Egba? Did you see Ohanese or any other elite group in the Southeast go to something land and represent themselves and say, yeah, we are part of this? So, when this thing did not happen, why are you just saying he declared, as if it is a very, very big issue? It is not. Until now the Kano comes out, we are not listening to anybody. Cure ED. Anybody who wants to go and do anything, that you're on your own. We can't be deceived by rabble-rousers. Who is Simon Egba in the first place? In the scheme of things, who is Simon Egba? Please, let us go back. Do you think the Igbos can follow anybody? Hold on, Ifina. Have you heard or seen where Igbos will not follow any tout? Because he's making noise. Simon Egba to lead the Igbos in the world. Please, people should not annoy us. So
are you not saying that it's a case of an individual, not a case of the country?
He's making noise on his own.
You say that we cannot follow anyone.
We are not
people
with
are
him.
throwing their bags away behind.
Who are those people? Who are those people?
And are you now still saying that the cause for IPOB now is more like a personal thing? An individual.
What I said Nnamdi Kanu is the person we know, not Simon Egba. If we have been saying this separately, it is Nnamdi Kanu who is pursuing a cause that the Igbo support, not Simon Egba. Get it clear. We don't want fake human rights activists to deceive us. Simon Egba cannot fight for Biafra with what he's doing. He cannot. We don't know him. We have said this several times. It is Nnamdi Kanu who is pursuing a cause that Igbos cannot resonate with. It's as simple as that.
All right, Barrister. We have with us also in the studio, Mr. Prince Francis Chilaka, who is a political analyst. I wanted to say Mr. then had to come back with the Prince. Yeah, of course.
Good morning.
Good to have you to the show.
Thank you.
I know you've been following our conversation up until this moment. We still have Simon Egba on the radar, where he declared, that was yesterday, even when he was in, with the Finnish authority behind bars, the declaration of the IPOB nation state still holds in Finland. 40 states were mentioned. And not just that, we also have their money also introduced in that gathering. Now, some people are saying, we don't need this. We don't need any declaration of any IPOB states in Finland. We need Nnamdi Kanu to be released. That's the only thing we're talking about. What do you have to say about that?
I don't understand why people are putting so much emphasis to frivolities. For me, Simon Egba is not a subject that should be discussed as a national issue. And the reason is because you claim to be declaring Biafra government in exile. And meanwhile, the main man, the mastermind of this government is in detention. And he'll be there till about May 2025. And on the other hand, some charlatans, that's what I want to call them, gather themselves in Finland. These are people who have been benefiting from the largesse of those who believe in the ideology of Biafra, the monies they've been contributing, and then they all gather themselves in Finland and declare a Biafra state, 40 states. It's a mockery, it's laughable. Because, like Barrister here just said, who can you point out amongst all those people that attended that gathering as a prominent son or daughter of Igbo land? Which of them? Moreover, you want to declare sovereign state of Biafra, and you're declaring it in exile.
We have Africa.
Does it make sense?
We have individuals in Africa declare government in exile. This is not the first time it's coming up. This is not the first time.
And how far have they panned out?
I wonder.
It's one thing to declare, but
what led to the South Africans? What led to South Africans? Will I say, independence was about how some individuals also put themselves together.
ANC
to
was
say,
fighting
we are
apartheid.
doing what?
There
We're
was-
fighting this
there was
particular
an
cause,
evil
and
regime.
this is
let
what we
us
have to
let
do.
us
And it
was
turned out
fighting
that till today,
Fina,
there's no
don't
other
compare- don't
genocide.
compare
let
this.
us let us get things
It
in
happened in Africa too.
Let us get things in perspective. You cannot put South Africa side by side with the nonsense Simon Ekpa is doing with the Biafran ideology.
Why do you say so?
They don't add up. South Africans, then you talked about ANC. They were fighting apartheid. They were fighting against the whites, in quotes. Simon Ekpa, who is he fighting against?
I wonder. His own people.
This is the same guy who has taken credit for the slaughter of Igbos. The same Igbos you are claiming to be protected. You have imposed sit at home in the southeast. You have killed the economic life of the southeast. So tell me, of what benefit has Simon Ekpa and his cohorts been to the Igbo land?
Are we blaming this on Simon Ekpa? This is more, that is what I want to ask. Given the fact that the whole thing started with IPOB coming up to say there will be sit at home in the southeast. They also went to further to talk about how he's going to linger for 1 month, for 1 week, and all that in South.
And
so
when the,
are you not saying Simon Ekpa is the one doing
and when IPOB called off sit at home, what happened thereafter?
I wonder.
Simon Ekpa is part of IPOB.
No,
Are you taking him out of it?
he has never been. He has never been.
a
Yes,
member of
he
IPOB.
he himself has said he has never been a member of IPOB. See, it's not about IPOB. For me, it's about the livelihood of the Southeasterners. If you go through the recent VAT earnings across the states, you'll be ashamed that a state like Imo was earning 200 and something billion. Is it not a shame? In the whole Southeast, if you add all their earnings together, it also adds up. It's because of the fact that one person who believes in an ideology, who believes in a different mindset, has held the Southeastern states captive. And I'll keep saying it. If Simon Ekpa and his group are serious with their declaration, they should go and impose the sit at home in Abuja. They should be able to galvanize all the Southeasterners across the breadth of Nigeria to say every Monday, go open your shops. Those who have airlines, the airlines should not fly. Those who have radio and TV stations should not operate. Then we know that there's proper.
Wouldn't that be infringing on rights of other people?
No.
Really?
Already, that's what they're doing in the Southeast.
Look at the
You cannot move around in the Southeast on Mondays. You cannot. And nobody has come out to tell us, even the governors themselves, they should be ashamed.
But the people,
Because they have not come out to tell us who the so-called unknown gunmen that are ensuring that people sit at home. Who are they?
But yesterday when we were having this conversation, Barrister, you said something about how people sitting at home is out of their own.
Of course, yes. If they do,
They're not being mandated.
Good. Hold on.
Their right is still being preserved.
Hold on. If
solidarity to Nnamdi Kanu.
hold on. If after someone Ekpa has been picked up and detained, and anybody in the South decide to sit at home, it's on his own volition. You can no longer tell me that somebody said or whatever. So we are doing it out of.
Now looking at it in the way that you're saying something about Priscilla, like I said something about how the Simon
That was then. Now that was then.
make people who have businesses in other places shut their business.
That was then.
I'm saying that.
Oh God.
Sorry, but I'm saying that. If we are saying that his cause is about the Igbo race, and his cause is genuine, what he should do, or what he should have done, which is what I've always said, it's not just holding the southeastern states hostage. Biafra is an ideology that every Igbo man believes in. It is the education of the ideology that matters. And unfortunately, every child born of an Igbo man in Nigeria grows up to understand that they have been marginalized. And they have been marginalized. So that's why I call it an ideology. It lives with them. But we're talking about the implementation of that ideology now. You're saying, oh, Southeasterners sit at home. Southeasterners are not only within the Southeast.
Okay.
So let those Southeasterners outside the Southeast who believe, support, let them sit at home.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that includes Lagos.
Yes, of
Everywhere.
course, everywhere, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That doesn't seem like something that will happen anytime soon.
Really? Okay.
Well, Barrister,
Yes.
let me come to you now. You do recall that sometime in the past, Simon Epka raised funds, raised about $60,000 monthly for 6 months. That was about the duration. He raised the funds to champion the Biafra cause. Now he's in detention. But we still saw a gathering in Finland, and 2nd of December has come and gone. Some will say we haven't seen anything significant really from the 2nd of December. But the fear in some quarters is the same way Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB, declared sit at home for whenever he's been taken to court, and somebody else took advantage of it. A Simon Epka took advantage of it, and we have seen what has happened in the Southeast with people being killed for refusing to sit at home. Some are afraid that if things continue the way they are going, if we continue to disregard Simon Ekpa's story and the things that he has done, we might see a resurgence of other groups of individuals, or rise of individuals, or maybe groups. Now it's Biafra in exile government, where he has declared himself the PM. We've had people call themselves a Minister of Communication, Minister of this and that, giving themselves portfolios. Shouldn't we be concerned that if this is not nipped in the bud, something more drastic might happen from some other group, maybe in Germany, maybe in Russia, maybe anywhere else around the world, still campaigning for the secession of Biafra? In the guise of that, cause further mayhem in Nigeria. Barrister.
You can only succeed if the people you are talking about are behind you. Whether you are coming from the moon or you are coming from Jupiter or Germany or Russia or America, except the real people you are fighting for, which is the Southeasterners, except they are behind you, you are not going anywhere.
What real people, really?
The people in the Southeast who are bearing the brunt. You cannot sit down somewhere in Finland or any of the Western world and you are enjoying a cognac.
What age grade? What age grade? If you want to talk about the people in the Southeast bearing the brunt of it, the real people,
yes,
let's put them into an age grade.
They are not age grade. Everybody.
Oh, Barrister, I beg to disagree.
I said, hold on.
No, Barrister, please hold on. Let me ask the question.
Leave these Gen Zs who don't know what is going on.
No, Barrister, you can't leave the Gen Zs.
Are they not part of the people?
If they are part of the people, what is the percentage?
Barrister, we can't leave the Gen Zs because some of this fight is happening on social media, and the Gen Zs dominate social media, and the Gen Zs probably don't even understand what is going on. What their parents went through during the Civil War. But what they understand is that some people are being gagged, some people are being terrorized, some people are being killed, and so they want to leave Nigeria, and it's happening on social media.
Moses, that is why we are here to educate them. Another cannot be there when a goat will give birth with a rope. It's not done in Igbo land. That is why we are guiding them that this thing, the world has moved on. Things are done in a civilized manner these days. The UN is there. All the processes you need to follow is there. Follow it, not killing. UK moved out of Europe just yesterday. What happened? Did anybody fight? Eritrea left Ethiopia, even though they fought. Sudan left their other brother, Southern Sudan. We can give you tons of examples. So there are templates. for you to follow, not by killing yourselves. That's what we are saying here. Because if you continue to kill yourself, enemies will not take advantage and come and finish you people. Can't you see what we are saying here? If they discover that people don't love themselves, that they are not killing them, they will not say, okay, let us, they will not take advantage. Now that someone has been taken down, please, if anything now happens in South, we will not call the federal government, please, you come, the security men you put in the South, the military, the police, and the DSS, and all of them, what are they now? You will see me here, I will call Tinubu. The people you put there, they are the cause of this problem. I will call out names. That's what we are saying here now, because you can no longer come and tell me that someone never trade this or that. That one is over. It was in the past. That's why we said he must be brought down at all costs. Now he's facing trial, or he's going to face trial. Who again will you say that is causing the killing in the Southeast?
So you think another person will not emerge?
Let him emerge first.
Remember,
hold on. If he emerge today in Southeast, he will be taken down today.
All right.
The Igbo don't even need anybody to tell them to. They will take him down today. The only thing that made Simon Ekpa to have behaved so arrogantly for so long is because he's not in Nigeria.
All right.
He would have sent some boy to go to his house and ask him, my friend, come. These people you are killing, they are human beings. Right, are you to face the same judgment now?
Let's bring in Chukudile, to be part of this conversation.
Well, Chukwuka is not online at the moment. Okay.
Good morning, Chukwuka. Good to have you in today's show.
Well, we'd like you to unmute your microphone so we can hear you.
Please. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Good to have you. Good to have you in today's show. I know you've been following the conversation thus far. We're talking about Simon Ekpa's arrest and how even the declaration of 40 states for Biafra, and how some people have come up to say we are associating ourselves from this declaration. We're not part of it. We need Nnamdi Kanu to be released. Now, do you think that if we're to release Nnamdi Kanu, or if the federal government is to release Nnamdi Kanu, that this in any way can help quell the tension in the Southeast?
Thank you, Fina. This is a very, very important question you've asked, and I'm going to try and answer it as diplomatically as I can. Yeah. In this situation, Nnamdi Kanu has become a menace to the Southeast development as a region ever since he came out with his Biafra agenda. And no one is saying he doesn't have the right to want to own an agenda, because his people have been marginalized. Everybody knows Southeastern Nigeria has been marginalized since after the Civil War, And it's funny to know, because in this situation, this is a man who nobody knows his antecedents, where he came from. He just comes from nowhere, and you turn your region in the name of determination and actualization. You turn your region to a war-torn zone. You declare Monday sit at home, whereby nobody can go out, somebody can go about their businesses. Children cannot go write exams if unfortunately they have a paper to write on a Monday. You know how much trillion the Southeast Nigeria has lost since the start of the sit at home. If you count how many Mondays between the sit at home, the first sit at home happened in 2021 around August, and I can remember for a fact that I was in Anambra at that moment. I was part of the campaign media team for Valentine Ozugbo when he was running for governor of Anambra State. And I remember on a particular Monday, we were supposed to go for a campaign, one of the local governments. I think the previous weekend, some people were killed, and then that Monday was the very first sit at home that happened in Southeast Nigeria. It started like a joke. But look at where we are today. I want to try and do a mental calculation of how many Mondays have passed between that Monday and this Monday that it's unimaginable.
Now, what do you think that made the Southeasterners or the big wigs in the Southeast not to have talked about this marginalization? We have still so many of them, in the National Assembly and all that. Why is it that it took them so long before they now start talking or start standing or chiming on the rights of Nnamdi Kanu to start talking about how they are being marginalized? Remember that the marginalization was what led to the civil war that Nigerians suffered so many years back, So why is it that the political bigwigs, the political elites in the Southeast, to be precise, have not really come up unanimously to say we are marginalized, and if nothing is being done, we need to do this or that? Why is it taking them so long?
You see, Efina, Nigeria is a very complicated country. If they say they will explain Nigeria to you, you say you won't understand the country and what the workings of the country. You see the southeastern like elder statesmen who you would have felt should be at the forefront, trying to clear the air, sort out whatever misconceptions and misunderstandings are happening. These guys are quiet and silent because they're all complicit. That is just what they say. Because how can you see your region going down the drain? Even you don't have what happened to the
You know why I'm asking this question is the fact that Chukwuka, why I ask the question is the fact that suddenly we know that we have Ndibo Unity Forum. That's NUF. They have the president to be Augustine Chukudum. And they've not really come up to say something about the whole that. So now, do you also, because yesterday I was having this conversation somewhere and someone said something about all the clamors, all the calls by the Southeasterners is kind of a political one. They just wanted to feel a bit relevant or important, given the fact that they just wanted to stand on the part of Nnamdi Kanu now to make their voice to be heard and to make them to be recognized. Do you also share that line of thought? Do you think that the call for Nnamdi Kanu's release is a genuine one, or is it more like a political statement?
Of course, I mean the latter. The latter. It's a political statement. This is relevant.
Right. Thank you very much. Okay. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I want to say something. Remember, before this Simon Epka came out, there used to be an Nnamdi Kanu. There used to be a Raf Nwazuruke guy. Remember that guy?
On the
Remember
Masop.
how he came out with his Masop movement and caused a lot of nuisance in the southeast? Where is he now? To went his way.
All right then. Well, thank you very much, Chukudili. Well, he's joining us from our Abuja studio. Just to let our viewers know, Voice of the People, VOP TV, is expanding, having studios in Abuja, in Port Harcourt, and some other parts of the country, just so we can serve you better, bring you stories from these parts of Nigeria. All right, so do expect to hear more from our presenters and Nigerians from around some of these parts of the country. We might also be hearing from Port Harcourt, where we have Desmond Anyanwu standing by. He will also chime into the conversation. So expect more of this in the course of the days and months to come. Now let's bring it back to the studio.
Just stay with us, okay? Because I'll be needing your own view and point during this conversation too.
Oh yes. Well, let's bring it back to the studio now. You want to say something?
Yes. I want to respond to your question to Barrister.
Okay.
When people are marginalized, there will be agitations. Anybody who says that the Igbos have not spoken in one voice against marginalization apparently doesn't know history. The Igbos have always been speaking. Go and check history. You will see prominent Igbos have come out to say that the Southeast is being marginalized. The Southeast is being suffocated. You see, today, we have like your correspondent said, we had Raf. We have Nnamdi Kanu. We have Simon Epka. We've had, is it Uju? Or Ngozi? The one that says she's the chief of staff.
Ngozi something, yes.
This will continue. You know why? The reason why people from the Southeast, why a lot of young people from the Southeast today are agitating for secession is because the marginalization we're talking about has not been addressed by the federal government. Until those issues are addressed, these agitations will continue.
Now, but how
the like of Sunday has kept quiet because suddenly they have a Bola Tinubu as a president.
Exactly.
The Niger Delta has kept quiet because at the point they had Jonathan as a president.
But how does splinter groups from IPOB, other groups like the BRGI in exile, how do they help the cause if they all spring up like this? Do they really
Whether you like it or not, even in South Africa, when you had the ANC, there was a lot of splinter groups.
Yes.
It is bound to happen.
Abi, that's the truth.
What will happen at the end of the day is that one will stand out.
Mm-hmm.
And that one that stands out is the one that they recognize.
Exactly. At a point, Mandela was declared a terrorist and a rebel and all that.
So these are things we must take care of. And this is where the federal government of Nigeria has gotten it wrong. The Igbos have been saying that if a child is pointing somewhere, if the mother is not there, the father is there.
Yeah.
So do you think, Prince Francis, that the Southwesterners are no longer calling or agitating for them to be liberated, given the fact that just after Bola Ahmed Tinubu was inaugurated as the president of Nigeria, we have the Onitiri, talking about how she also read out something on social media. She declared interest of the Yoruba nation, and she also hoisted the flag. So are those?
Do you understand propaganda?
So do you think that having a president to help to curb the issue of marginalization?
Fina, do you understand what propaganda is?
Leave that in, Fina. You don't know what
in governance. Propaganda is an oil. It oils the wheel.
Oh God. Look at it. What happened after that?
Where is the woman today? All those who were arrested, where are they today? Who has been speaking out?
I wonder.
It's propaganda.
Oh. Why were they not tried? No, have you...
Before, when if you recall, when Jonathan first came to power, didn't you see the likes of Asarebo, Tombolo making noise?
I wonder.
What happened thereafter? They must also show that propaganda that, no, we're not sure, we're sure.
Is it really propaganda or is it the case of the country?
What has happened, what the Southwest is doing is nothing but propaganda.
Even at that, if they protest now, what are they protesting for? Their man is in Abuja. All the appointment is in the Southwest, as I talk to you today.
Barrister Darlington Agumor, we know how hunger is bedeviling the country to start with.
Is that what?
And also, we know that the man at the helm of affairs, from all indication, it's not really the person feeling the brunt because of the fact that there's hunger in the land. There is no food. Remember that the Westerners were the first people to go into the street to protest hunger in Nigeria. In this present administration. So you ask, what are they protesting?
Well, yes, now, because the important thing is let my man be in Abuja.
Are we having different markets for some?
Hold on, I'm coming. The important thing is let my man be at the helm of affairs to show that, yes, we too, we are part of Nigeria. Is that not what has been going on? If you check, the office of the president of this country is a political issue. It's a political, tribal, and religious issue. The person there will help your region in whatever form or guise, whether you like it or not. I said, just go and look at the appointment Tinubu have made. When Buhari was there, look at the appointment he made. So all this is, it impacts on the people to show that, yes, we are part of we have somebody who can rule Nigeria. That impression alone can quell all manner of agitation. That's what we are saying here. Whether you like it or not, the Southwest are keeping quiet now because their person is there. What are they going to protest now? For what? Whatever Tinubu is now doing is for the generality of Nigerians. Hunger is not an exclusive right of any region now. But the fact that the Tinubu is there, it will be impossible for his own people to start protesting and shouting and making noise all over the place. It can never happen. Okay. It can never happen.
All right, Barry.
This is what we are now saying, that let an Igbo man be given such opportunities since independence. What is wrong there?
Okay.
No, tell me. Apart from that, even if they are ruling properly, Fina, listen very well. Even if the Igbo man does not bother, because he is an egalitarian man. We are very liberal. With all we are saying, let there be enabling environment. The Igbo man can thrive. But this marginalization and the persecution and the whatever they are doing to, especially in Lagos, these are part of the thing that is agitating their mind. You don't give them access to governance. You don't give them access to national resources. You don't give them access to appointment. And now you will not even allow them to thrive in their business. Is that not enough for somebody to cry out? Have we retaliated one day to all the things they are doing to us, especially in Lagos here? Have you heard? Because if we had that, they say, look at it. Even the Igbo said, look at what they are doing. But we never retaliated. Look at what you suffered here in Lagos, which you are aware of. Have we retaliated? Please, somebody should answer me. Is that not enough to tell you that we are peaceful people? So, what is this thing about the Igbos? That everybody, every time, Igbo, what did we do wrong? Because we are very peaceful. Is that not? Is there no other thing? The people that are very aggressive, try it with them and see what will happen. They will never try it. It's always the Igbos. So these are the things that is agitating their mind. When you look at you are doing so well. If you have a son, 3 sons in the family, you are pampering 2. The very one who is working so hard, bringing food to the table, adding value to the family, doing everything diligently, you will not treat him like a slave or a bastard. Please, will that son be happy? One day you put that house on fire, everybody will run out from that place.
All right, then. Barrister, now, let's come back to Simon Ekpa's issue. Simon Ekpa and the noise that he's been making. You've called it rabble-rousing. But he has listed some states, 40 states. No, Barrister, just hold on. Just hold on. He has listed some states. Some of those states have some Niger Delta states included in them. Let's go back in history. Let's talk about...
that is East Central State now, Eastern Nigeria.
Yes.
When Gowon wanted to whittle down the power...
No, Barrister, please hold on.
Okay,
please
go ahead.
Let's talk about one Adaka Isaac
Borough, yes.
Yes, and what played out during the time. He was also an agitator for the Niger Delta region, because of the oil. And the Niger Deltans have always feared that if they align with Southeast, if they align with Biafra, they might be, the oil, they might be ruled, maybe suppressed or something. That agitation has always been there. How does this inclusion of some Niger Delta states help the cause?
He was looking at the former topography of East Central states. But now I told that the world has moved on. If it is a voluntary issue now, when America was formed, it was only 13 states. That 13 states is now 50 states. The last of these states was Alaska, which was bought by one American president from Russia. Alaska was never a land of an American land, but because it is far from the Soviet Union, they felt that eventually America may take the land. They now sold it to one American president at $7 million. Today, that particular Alaska is now giving them 50% of their gold reserve and 50% of their fishery need. Yeah, are you getting it? So they came in out of voluntary obligation to become what they are today. It is the same thing with this Niger Delta. Okay, they agitated that they don't want Biafra and all that. At the end of the day, are they better now? Remember, one of the things they used to deceive them during the war was they should join the federal troops and the federal government, that when they finish the war, they will give them 50% of their oil, 50% derivation. That was what they used to deceive people like Kensaro Wiwa, and they sabotage Biafra. Moses, after that, what happened? Did they even see 10 or 50 or did they see anything?
No, it's good we are going down in history so that we will educate people.
That's what I'm telling you now. So they were deceived. That's why their eyes are clearer now.
So now they are wiser now.
They are wiser now.
So now they want to align with
Did they not agitate? Did they not agitate at a point?
So now they are aligning with
Ogonifor and Ogonify. What killed them? Was it not
so Barrister, are you saying that now they are wiser and they are aligning with Simon Ekpa's?
We don't know because Simon Ekpa just wrote a name. They have not come to say, we are part of this thing. That is why I'm telling you that whatever Simon Ekpa is not even structured. He's on his own. You have not even secured the South. You are cleaning other 40 states. Which other 40 states? You mean Middle Belt will cross over, cross Southwest, cross Yoruba land, and they become part of you? Is that not a joke? Don't tell me that. That's why I told that he's a rabble-rouser. Why are you cleaning 40 states? Did Ojukwu declare 40 states during the 1967 declaration? On that May 27, did Ojukwu include all these states as part of his region? Did he? You can see that this man is joking. 40 states for Biafra. For how? He just wrote their names. They don't even bother to answer him. So why are we discussing it? We are talking of Southeast here.
All right, Prince, I'd like you to respond to that in a bit, but I hear that we need to bring in someone else.
Yeah, we have Desmond Anyango from Port Harcourt Station. Good morning, Desmond. Hello, Desmond. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Good morning.
All right, good to have you in today's show, Desmond Danyango. Desmond joined us from a Port Harcourt station. Good to have you. You've been following the conversation thus far, right? And I would like to ask you, since you're in Port Harcourt, we also know of how some people were talking about history and what happened then. My colleague here talked about, Mr. Borough, who later was enlisted to join the Nigerian army. And we also have Effiong, who also played a part in Biafra during that time of the war. He was the first vice president, first and second time, and also the first president of Biafran government during the war. Now, what do you think that made the people of the South and other parts now to come up to say, we are not going to associate ourselves with this declaration, second declaration that is made by Simon Epka faction of IPOB?
Okay, I just want to start by saying that for we to find or have a lasting solution to the problem of IPOB or
we have the audio is quite terrible. I do hope we'll be able to rectify that one so we can hear Desmond clearly.
And what is the root cause? Let's get to the root of this. What is the root cause? The IPOB started because of the level of marginalization that people are suffering in the hands of politicians from the other direction. Because of the level of marginalization.
Right, Desmond, sorry, we can't get your audio clearly here from this end, so we'll let you go. We will have to let you go, Desmond, because we cannot get clear, vision of what you're telling us.
Well, unfortunately.
Yes. Now, Moses, please, is there any official declaration by PANDEF concerning this declaration by Simon?
Well, we haven't heard any.
So why are you not saying that they have disassociated the friend from whatever? Everybody just said they ignored Simon Epka. I don't like saying what is not available. We are discussing what is not there. The PANDEF, which I know, Per Edu Clark will never come out to make such a. They just ignored him because the real Igbo elite, the real Igbo organization have not even said anything. So why would you not say that because somebody went some down and wrote a name and all that? After all, some people are claiming the name of family that they are not there. Some people can claim that they are Buhari's son. Did the Buhari come to validate it? You can claim anything, it doesn't matter. It is the real people, when they come out to speak, we listen to them. That's what I'm saying here. Because if we allow this thing to fly now, another charlatan will wake up tomorrow to replace Simon Epka. And when we say, what is all this? They say, but you supported Simon Epka. Why can't you support this one?
So don't you think that being quiet is more like becoming detrimental to whatever idea or hope or opinion that they have? Why won't they come up to say something?
Ooh.
Why keep quiet up until now? The people you're talking about, mention of PANDEF, saying they've not come up to associate themselves.
Why would they come out to? What would they come and say?
But now they have the names of their, let's say, location.
I want to get something.
Please get this thing right.
Remember that this is not the first time we're having this.
It's not enough to write a name.
This is not the first time.
You can write any name.
Having a map.
The people that you wrote their name are they in support of what you are doing?
But Mr. Darlington, this is not the first time.
I want to get something clear.
Biafra is
Wait, I want to get something clear. What I want to get clear is, why are we attaching so much relevance and importance to this whole declaration
and names and names?
And I said from the outset, if there has to be a declaration of Biafra in exile,
Oh God.
don't you think common sense dictates that Nigerians, Biafrans in Nigeria, should be part of it?
I wonder.
Don't you think so? If you recall, a few years back when your former Deputy Senate President, Kwenemadu, was manhandled in Germany, was it only people, from abroad that were in Germany? There were people from Nigeria
Exactly.
that were there.
They went with him.
Not only the ones that went with him, there are other people who went on their own.
To give solidarity.
Because they believed in what was going on.
Oh.
The Igbos don't act in isolation.
I wonder.
The Igbo race are a group of people that are intertwined so much. So if this was something an average Igbo man supports, getting visa, getting the ticket to go to Finland will not be the problem of the
all
Igbos.
of us will go. If we can trek there, we can trek.
You can trek to.
We can trek to that place. All we need to, all we need to.
I didn't see that coming back.
I said we will trek, we will enter train, we will enter ship.
With the recent
Store away to get there. To give solidarity towards you. So that's why I'm telling you that let us not pay, but if we allow it might look as if the Igbo do not have sense. Somebody is just playing on our intelligence. I don't want to hear that. Simon Ekpa is not enough to play on my intelligence. What he's doing is outside what you are asking for. Every reasonable Igbo man have said it. That's not how things are done in this age. More so when we have lost so many youth in the southeast and he's claiming credit to it. Why should I support such a person? And that had made the enemy to come in. These people are not together. They are killing themselves. Oh yeah, moving. When they're not killed, someone else will claim credit. At the point, we don't even know who we are pursuing. Whether unknown government, whether security agents, whether someone else.
Right.
Is that what you want us to live with? At what point did we even become so this aggressive to be killing ourselves? I have told everyone who comes to listen, Igbo don't kill themselves. This thing is not our character. I challenge anybody to come and tell me, if we didn't kill others during the war, why should we not be killing ourselves in this peace time? It's not our character. We must denounce it vehemently.
All right then.
Now that the Finnish authority, confirmed that Simon Ekpa, the self-proclaimed leader of IPOB, is now in their custody, Barrister Darlington, they also gave a time frame. They say from now till May 2025. If they don't have strong evidence, against him to make up or to back the suit he's facing, the charges talking about financing terrorism, inciting terrorism, and all that. Now, what do you think will happen if we don't have enough evidence, or the people that put him up doesn't have enough evidence for that to be tried?
No,
what do you think will happen?
Fina, in the Western world, they don't take you in except there is a strong evidence against you.
So why stretch this case?
Because they want to gather more. You think they do things like you here? No, they have established a prima facie case against Simon Ekpa. That was why they took him. Remember, they arrested him some time ago. But yes, but they couldn't, hold on something strong against him. But when he started posting all those things, that was where all the evidence they got from Simon was from his social media handle. You heard what that investigative man said from Finland. They went to his distance and saw all his activities, which he did not deny. Is that not enough to say, come, my friend, come and explain this thing you are writing here and all that? Is that not enough? So a prima facie case has been established against him. Whether he will wriggle out of it is another thing entirely. And I'm sure by the time you go through this ordeal and come out, he will be a better person. And that's what we want. He will be a better person. To know that the Igbos, we don't tolerate this type of rubbish. It's not our character. It's not.
All right then. Well, as we make to wrap up this conversation now, I would like to ask Prince this question. Now that some representatives of IPOB have dissociated themselves, Igbo elders have also dissociated themselves from Simon Ekpa, what else do you think stakeholders should do to ensure that there is no further uprising, all right, and also the release of Nnamdi Kanu?
Well, everybody expected that, in quotes, your so-called Igbo elders and leaders will come out to dissociate themselves.
Why are you putting that in quotes?
Yes, they will come out to dissociate themselves because they were there when this whole thing started, and we've been calling them before now. We've been calling them. Where are the elders of the land? The elders of the land have suddenly gone deaf and dumb.
They were afraid of Simon Ekpa.
So now Simon Ekpa has been arrested. They are talking. But that's not the solution. The arrest of Simon Ekpa is not the solution.
So what is?
The solution is that the elders of the land should begin to do one or two things. One, they should secure the release of Nnamdi Kanu. Two, between the elders, the governors, and the federal government. We want to know who these so-called government are.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
It's very, very important. We need to know. It's not something that we should throw, underneath the carpet. So if they are all coming out now to dissociate themselves, to condemn condemn Simon Ekpa, they should also begin to speak out against the marginalization of the Igbos.
Okay.
Because that is the root cause of all the problem. Not when you, before you become a governor, you are fighting the cause of the Igbos. But the moment you become a governor, you forget that cause and you abandon your people. The Igbo elders and leaders in the southeast have abandoned the people for too long.
All right then. Boris, your take now. But you did say Igbo elders are afraid of...
because of, Simon Ekpa, what he was doing. The few that spoke, this is what happened to them. The few Igbo elders that spoke, including traditional rulers, this is how they ended up. No, didn't you see? That was why the others were very afraid. Now that the chicken had come home to roost, I expect them now to come out and be bold about everything they are going to do or say concerning this matter, so that another Simon Ekpa does not arise. That is what I'm saying here. In fact, I'm just waiting for the new Ohaneze president to come on board. They said they will give somebody that slot to finish Iwanyawo's tenure. Let the man call. I will be calling his name here. I will collect his phone number. Every day I'll be calling him. I'm not joking. I will call out his name. I'll call him. Say, Mr. President, what are you doing about this? You must walk.
Barrister, I think we all get these things wrong. Ohaneze Ndigbo has not and has never been a tool that has represented the downtrodden in the south.
I wanted to ask.
I told you the reasons.
Because when we keep saying, when we keep saying Ohaneze Ndigbo, and we keep talking of the leadership, I have never believed in that leadership. I have never believed in a leadership that is only designed for old men. Men who are losing touch with reality. The Gen Zs.
You think that's what it is?
Yes, that's the problem.
No, it's
the
not.
Gen Zs, today the world is ruled by the Gen Zs, whether we like it or not. We must give the young people opportunity to come out.
That's why.
What is happening in Ohaneze Ndigbo is that it's a place for retired old Igbo men.
Listen.
Right.
The situation in the southeast is not something you hand over to your Gen Zs. They will mess it up.
So you think elders?
Yes, elders. That's why I told you that an elder cannot be there when a goat will give back.
Barrister Danny, I totally agree with you. The elders have failed us.
No.
It's time to move on.
No, you cannot move on and leave our destiny in the hands of your so-called Gen Z. Is it not these Gen Z that are supporting Simon Ekpa? Is they go and check their age group? It is the elder that will look at this thing, look at this. What if we do not handle it carefully, my dear? You would have opened your door to the enemy. So that's what I'm telling you here.
Barrister Darlington, now that you made mention of how the Ohaneze Ndigbo, their political term is to have a new person who will step in to finish.
Yes,
yes.
yes.
We also know that they're having wrangling. There's an issue among them. Which faction of this Ohaneze Ndigbo are we talking about? Is it the faction that is calling on Obasanjo to step in, or is it the other faction that is saying that this is time for us to rotate? Why I'm asking this is that we
have only one Ohaneze.
But we know that Ohaneze group, they rotate their leadership. Now is the time for the people that come from Rivers State to produce.
They said that we have not finished. Now what is wrangling there?
So we are now. Are we not still saying that the elders cannot put their house together with their great?
Look, if anybody is talking, you see, we have political hangers on. Those who want to go and collect money from somewhere to make noise. Okay. We don't recognize them. Even they have a faction. Is that not true? What matters at the end of the day, which particular group is recognized by the people. That's what until Iwanya died, was he dragging his position with anybody? Look, go and see the burial they gave him. The burial that all the Igbos all over the world, they came for that burial. What does that tell you? Leave all these small fries who are collecting a starvation allowance from their paymasters. They are not relevant. It happened all over the place. We are not even bothered. If you allow any Igbo group to scam you on behalf of Ohaneze, it is not we, it is not Ohaneze. Yeah, if you want to do something with Ohaneze, you know where to go. But if you now say you want to split Ohaneze by paying some people, you cannot work. At the end of the day, we know who to follow.
My objection to this whole thing about Ohaneze, getting somebody to continue or to finish a tenure. Don't forget that the former president, what's his name again, that died. No, not Iwanyan.
Yaradua.
No.
Obiozo.
Iwanyan came to complete the tenure of.
Yes.
Now, you're looking for another person to complete the tenure of Iwanyan.
But that's in their constitution.
What is wrong with that?
That is in their constitution.
No, what's wrong with that, Priscilla? What is wrong with that? Indeed. That is even what will make a peaceful transition. That's what will make for a peaceful organization. The moment you now change it somewhere, people will get aggrieved. So we said we are talking about something is already in the constitution, follow it. That's the only way you can bring peace. Mr. Chinaka, let me ask you, go around all the places in Lagos where you Igbos are concentrated in their business. Have you heard or seen any rancor? Is it not because of the way they do their things? Have you heard them fighting and killing each other because of leadership?
But they're fighting. Ohaneze is fighting right now.
Barrister, you should
Ohaneze is fighting right now.
It is those people that the government paid money.
I think it's time we move away from this conversation into another conversation while we wait on the Igbo elders to do the needful and secure the release of Nnamdi Kanu. Well, Nigerians criticize President Tinubu over remarks that have been made that they were living a fake good life before the removal of fuel subsidy. Well, that remark is credited to the president, and Nigerians are criticizing it. Well, let's talk about this. Let's look at this when we come back from this break. Welcome back. Well, conversation still ongoing in the studio, even during the break. Well, President Bola Tinubu has described the good life Nigerians enjoyed before his administration as unsustainable and potentially disastrous for the nation's economy. Speaking at the 34th and 35th convocation of the Federal University of Technology, Akure, Futa, Edo State, the president justified his government's decision to remove the fuel subsidy and unify the exchange rate, arguing that these bold measures were necessary to prevent economic collapse. He assured Nigerians that early signs of recovery are now visible as his policies begin to take effect. Well, former PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar's aide, Frank Shaibu, lashed out at President Tinubu, urging him to restore what he referred to as the era of fake smiles, where Nigerians felt more financially secure. Shaibu criticized the president's comments, highlighting the dire economic struggles many Nigerians face, including dwindling purchasing power and soaring costs of living. His remarks reflect a growing wave of discontent among the populace. Nigerians have expressed frustration over President Tinubu's characterization of their past economic state as fake. Many argue that life was better before the subsidy removal, with more manageable living costs and stable household income. While the president's policy, while intended to stabilize the economy, continue to spark debates on whether they address the immediate concerns of the struggling majority. Fake life, because, that fake life, some Nigerians would say, enabled them to purchase fuel at 200 naira a liter. And now that we are living in the real life, fuel is going for over 1,000 naira, 1,030, 1,080 in some places. It just keeps going up. Well, Let me start with Prince Francis on this one. This comment. I've asked this question before, and I'm going to ask it again. Is it that Nigerians are a little impatient for the policies to take full effect? Or is the president living in, in the clouds, believing that his policies are working? Are they working in his mind? Or is he saying, please help me unbundle this?
When you have a president that does not stay in the country, when you have a president that spends as if there are no worries, no problems, when you have a president that in the midst of hunger, starvation, and poverty is buying a new jet, buying a new Escalade, moving around the whole world, you wouldn't expect anything less than what he has said. This president, as far as I'm concerned, has lost touch with the reality of what Nigerians are going through. He is not being well informed, so to say. This president is living in the past.
Has he? Remember, he acknowledged in the summit.
And please,
G20.
please, let me finish. This president, when a president comes in, and the first thing you do on the day of your inauguration is to remove the lifeline of the people. You remove the oxygen of the people, and you expect the people to continue to live. And while the people are struggling to breathe, struggling to survive, the same president is telling you that you are living a fake lifestyle. Does it not show you that, that our political process from the outset has been put up in such a way for the government to fail? We have a political process that elects the worst of us to rule the rest of us to get the worst from all of us. That is what we have. You have a political process that has no respect for the dignity of the ordinary Nigerians. You have a political process that is snatch it, grab it, and run. And people see nothing wrong with it.
Prince Francis.
We have a political process that the sovereignty of the people that should be protected by the elected has been thrown to the dogs. And that is why your president can wake up and tell you, when we were living fake life, I agree, we were living fake life. A bag of rice at that time was how much? 8,000, isn't it?
It was a fake life.
It was a fake life. I enjoyed that fake life. People could go to the hospital, get treatment, get drugs. It was a good fake life. I could travel from Lagos to Abuja, 23,000 naira for air ticket. It was a wonderful fake life.
So the issue of fake it till you make it is not in our case then.
It was a fake life
we have faked it,
where
but we've not made it.
the ordinary Nigerian can actually go with 50 naira, buy gari, sugar, and drink, and be happy. That fake life was a period where Nigerians were happy.
Were Nigerians truly happy?
Nigerians were truly happy.
I'll disagree
But
with that one. Nigerians
today,
have never been happy.
Today,
Moses,
calm down. Today, we're living in the reality of it, where a bag of rice is going for 120,000.
But he clamored for change.
We're living in a reality where from Lagos to Abuja is about 300,000 to 400,000 naira ticket.
Nigerians were happy and they were clamoring for change, and that was
no. Nigerians were clamoring for good governance.
And they got
no.
Isn't that what happened?
Nigerians have always clamored for one thing.
No, you said that Nigerians were happy.
Nigerians were clamoring as of 2015 when Buhari came. Nigerians were not clamoring for change. Nigerians were clamoring for good governance. Nigerians were clamoring for security of their lives and property. Unfortunately, the failure called Buhari came and bastardized this country and handed over. And then you have a president who says, I will continue from where this man stopped. You continue from failure. And people are happy.
Are people really happy?
Petrol today is 1,002.
They are really real life now. They are happier.
And you're calling it a real life. A real life. If we were living a real life, Mr. President wouldn't have bought the presidential jet he bought. Mr. President would have understood that in this real life, there's going to be pains, there's going to be anger, there's going to be frustration.
That's what he's saying.
He doesn't understand
That's
it.
what he's saying.
He does not understand. This morning, as of this morning, transporters were telling Nigerians to brace up.
Brace up.
Oh, yes.
That the price of food items are going to go up. And I'm asking, go up from what? From where it is already. If it goes up, is it not suicidal? See, let us be very honest with ourselves. Each time I look at Nigerian leaders, I try not to blame them. And do you know why I don't blame them? I do not blame them because they believe that the Nigerian people are ignorant and foolish. I do not blame them because they have this mindset. And that's the same mindset a lot of people go into marriage with. A woman will say, if I marry him, I will change him. You need to be a leader before you get political power. But in Nigeria, you get political power and begin to seek for leadership. And that is why this country has remained the way it is.
Barrister Darlington, let's go into the conversation. You know, we're talking about the fuel subsidy to be the bone of contention here. But you know that the presidency told Nigerians that 20 million is what we have said, you know, from the removal of fuel subsidy all this while. And with that, the presidency says that the present administration policy is beginning to yield results. We could also hear how the MOU signed with French government is going to bring us 13 million, pounds, and a whole lot, you know. Are you not still saying that it's not better for Nigerians to come back to reality instead of being on the fake life? Even when Atiku Abubakar says, put us back, we are now on life support, take us back to that fake smile. It's better.
Fina, did you remember that 2 months ago, or even a month ago, Tinubu told us that the economy is on the brink of collapse?
He said he inherited.
No, he said it himself. Just a month ago, he said it. We discussed it here. How can a man who said that a month ago now come out to tell you that the same economy is picking up? Where are the indices? Have the naira improved? The fuel matter, has it improved?
According to MBS, we have increase in our GDP.
You have seen.
We also have increase, in some, even in our revenue, in our foreign reserve. We have increase in it.
How much is it?
There was not, indication that the policies are working.
How much is it? You see, this is what part of the propaganda we are talking about. When they want to make you feel good, they will throw up figures from MBS and all that. You saw how experts, even Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, you saw what they told MBS concerning that figure they threw up, that unemployment have reduced. This one is this one. But when you look outside, you see a different picture entirely. We saw that things are looking up. Please tell us. Because all this things you are telling us, the economy is not stupid. If the economy is improving, you will see it will reflect on goods and services. It will automatically it will reflect. So, since things are not looking up, and you are still telling me that, where are those indices that will tell me that, yes, things are looking up? When you came into office, what did you inherit? Has it gone back to that place? The answer is capital no. So what is that thing that is looking up? You see how gullible Nigerians are deceived. When they throw up this picture, all these figures, some ignorant people will run with it.
So are you saying, Barrister Darlington, that Nigerians should sit and fold their hands where selected individuals keep on milking us dry? Remember that the president said that the reason for the fuel subsidy removal is the fact that it is going to make Nigeria to go bankrupt. That's number one. Number two, the selected few are the ones benefiting, eating and milking and sucking Nigerians dry.
Since after that statement was made, what has changed? Is it better now?
Are you troubled? Are you troubled that individuals that have not been arrested for, the cabal have not been named and probably arrested? Does that trouble you in any way?
Moses, it's not only troubling me, it's embarrassing me. Because this is the very word he spoke. Meanwhile, he is in the oil industry, he's the Minister of Petroleum. You know that this NNPC is our cash cow. After NNPC today, I don't know which other area we are getting more foreign exchange. Maybe the ports, that one is dead already. Now, that particular cash cow, has he sanitized it? The answer is capital no. You know what is going on with Patoka Refinery now. You know what is going on. So if you are not sanitize the very area where we are making our with the bulk of our money, please, what has he done? He cannot arrest anybody. I am telling you, he cannot, because he knows what is going on. If he can, what is he waiting for? He's getting to 2 years now in office. Yet NNPC is as stinking as hell. No improvement, nothing. The oil industry, we don't even know what is going on there. Up to today, we don't know. So how can you tell me that you are doing reform? What is improving here? Nothing.
Barrister, talking about the reforms, we'll come back. I think we need to link up with one of our outstations now. But we'll come back and talk about Nigeria's relationship with France. We'll talk about that when we come. Let's just link up with our outstation.
Chukudile, good to have you again. Thank you for staying. All right, now a quick one. You're in Abuja, and then we have heard how some of the political aides, for example, we have the former aide of Atiku Abubakar, talking about how bad, before now initially, how bad this present administration is, how APC government is, how bad this and that is. We also have some of them now being nominated or being appointed, let me use that word, to work in the cabinet of this present administration. Just a few days ago, Jesu Tega was also the one who talked about this administration. He put all he has behind Tinubu, chanting that the president is what Nigeria needs and all that. And during the interview, he granted some time to a media outlet. He said that he's kind of ashamed of the whole policies happening. And we also had, say again this morning from, I think Frank, or so, I don't know how to pronounce the name. I'm talking about, Frank Shaibu, talking about how Nigerian government should take us back to that fake life, fake smile that we're having, instead of putting us on life support. What do you really make of all this happening? Is it that some of those people are saying all this because they wanted to get attention? Because the present administration says their policies is yielding fruit. That we should calm down at least and enjoy and reap the fruit of all this suffering that we're having, which is going to be temporal. Now, are you saying it this way, that some of the people who are coming up to criticize this administration is kind of seeking for attention? Or do you think they are speaking for Nigerians?
Okay. The people who, so President Bola Ahmed Tinubu he is a strategist, a political strategist. You can't take that away from him. He's somebody who knows the onions, who knows his onions right now, who knows his words. So, and one thing he has succeeded in, especially in his political journey, has been the divide and conquer strategy. That's one of his strong points. See all these guys, all these who have been coming up to make statements about the economy and how it's not been favoring them, all in the guise of trying to get a political appointment. It's still part of the whole long-term game plan. But let's look at the economy. This is a country that we were on just single-digit inflation just a couple of years ago. Single-digit inflation. Under just in 2 years, our inflation has risen to double-digit inflation. Not even just double digits. I think as a last count, about 30-something% inflation rate in Nigeria at this, since President Bola Ahmed Tinubu took over power. This is a country whose GDP, just some annually, was about 400 and something billion annually. But in this 2024, it has dropped to less than 200 billion. It's an indictment on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. For him to come out and say Nigerians were living a fake life before he came to power, I feel it's funny, and at the same time, it's just he doesn't really regard Nigerians. He's not in touch with the true situation of things, of how things are in the country. This is a country whereby the prices of everything, like Bryce Darlington said, or was it Prince Chilaka, who mentioned that the first thing you did when you came on assuming office was to take away the lifeline of the people. The only thing Nigerians benefit is that fuel subsidy. That is the only benefit. That's the only thing we benefit from government.
But he said that he took that away so that selected few will not keep on sulking or milking Nigerian economy. He said if we kept on
selected
with the
few
fuel
at the expense
subsidy,
of majority of Nigerians.
You can recall that he made a statement that if the fuel subsidy payment continues, Nigeria will go bankruptcy.
We've been paying for subsidies since 1 year. We never went bankrupt. Why will it be now we'll go bankrupt? Why would be now? We are an oil-producing country, so why would we go bankrupt?
But we have saved $20 million from fuel subsidy removal. I hope you know.
Well, Fina, but this is like I'm going to say. This is still a matter of. It had to be. It's a matter of. This was the only benefit Nigerians were getting from the government. Fuel subsidy covers everything, and now you take it because you feel. Then find a way, find something around it. You don't put Nigerians in because you want to. The president mentioned something about preserving the country for our children yet unborn. Okay, so is it we who are here now who are still alive? We should die. We should not be unborn that will not enjoy the country. We want to enjoy the country now. Right. When our children come, they will sort themselves out by the end of that stage. They will go through the normal process they have to do. It's not, we're not the ones who will get the cross for our children.
All right, then. Thank you very much.
It's really sad because if you go to the street of Abuja, people are suffering. I go out every day and I can count one or two people who will stop me and ask me for something.
All right, then. Thank you very much, Chuka. We'd like to just stay on. We might come back to you before the end of the program. Barrister.
Moses. Now, you see this fake life. It's like Buhari and Tinubu. They have a covenant in running down Nigerians. Just to massage their ego. Remember that Buhari said this same thing when he went to India during his day. Nigerian youth are lazy. I asked myself, at what point did we become lazy? When you have messed up the economy, you are looking for someone to blame. This other president now is saying the same thing. I don't know his definition of a fake life. Moses, when Tinubu was in Lagos here as a governor, how did he run Lagos State? It was it not under his watch that Agbero and the area boys flourished? Was it not under his watch?
No. Let's talk about the economy.
Hold on, I'm telling you the youth that are very living fake life. Okay. A young man who wake up in the morning, the only thing he will think of is how to carry long cane and be moving from one shop to the other. Owo da, owo babada, owo tanida. This is that a life? This thing happened under he didn't address it. He did not. Moses, he did not. Now he's blaming those youths who flourish under his watch. Do you see why I get annoyed with these leaders? So who is now living the fake life? Is it these other youth who are struggling every day to make a living for their life? You mean that what Nigerians have enjoyed so far under Tinubu is not enough, it's not worthy for them to be praised. Now he's saying that we are living a fake life without defining it. Defining it. You told us that when you remove a fuel subsidy, it will be Uhuru. Moses, we are waiting for almost 2 years now. Nothing is coming out from that end. You remove electricity subsidy. I say it will benefit the poor. You started band A, band B, band C. Up to now, as I'm talking to you now, the poorest of the poor are now in band A. They are in band A. So how is it benefiting the poor? The fuel subsidy removed. Please, is there any filling station where poor people are going to buy their own fuel? Moses, please answer me.
No, Barrister, I'm asking the question.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Is that not the same station where they are selling it at a rocket price?
All right, Barrister.
So where is that benefit of what Tinubu has done so far? Where is the benefit? Somebody should just point out one thing.
You don't believe that it
not believe, no, not believe. Hold on.
Don't you believe that it will take time to come to fruition?
Really?
Oh,
hold on. If a young man has prepared for 25 years to get mad, please, how long will it take him to run mad actually and entertain the public? Answer me. 25 years, I will get mad tomorrow. He will put on one day and why can't you run? It doesn't take 1 hour to run mad. People who know what they are doing, they take just 6 months to turn around the economy. When Donald Trump came the first time in America, you saw what he did. Moses, you saw what Donald Trump did under 6 months in the office in the US. So why are we always excusing mediocrity and incompetence? What is it going to take him to do whatever he wants? Since he prepared for 30 years for this leadership. So when the Chuka was saying which strategies? These are things that the press showed to you. They use that propaganda to deceive Nigerians. He's the master strategist. He knows, in fact, he was the one who invented the democracy. He knows more than God. Now, he has gotten office. What are we seeing? Policies from assault. No single policy have seen the light of day. None of them. Every of his policy, they have all run into a cul-de-sac. And somebody telling me, which strategies? Moses, which strategies? Tell me. You inherited the exchange rate at 700 naira to $1. Look at where it is now. And somebody say, is a strategy what? Oh, because you have a lot of money to buy vote and win election. Is that what you call strategy? All this election that the APC is winning, is that part of the strategy? You know what vote buying have done to Nigeria electoral system. Is that what you call strategy, please? Let us know your performance. Let your performance sell you. P2B is what he is today because of his performance in office in Anambra. Is there any other thing? Did he give anybody money?
Well, the same. Well, you also recall that the performance of the president in Lagos was what they used in campaigning for him.
That's what I told you now. That was why the Lagos Ibadan prayer you need to deceive everybody. But you and I know the truth.
It was deceit then.
Yes, it was deceit because we are saying it was deceit.
All right, let me bring Prince Francis into
this. What will you say about Jakonde?
Thank you very much.
When it comes to those who ruled Lagos State, what will you say about Jakonde?
Thank you very much, Barrister Valentine. Let's bring Prince Francis into this. I'm going to ask you the question around Nigeria and France. Now, this is coming at a time where Francophone Africa are dissociating themselves from France. And we can see that in Francophone Africa, development has been terribly impeded because France basically sucked these countries dry. And now that they are being chased out of Francophone Africa, Nigeria is embracing France. What exactly is going on here?
Nigeria is a country that likes embracing failure.
Nigeria, sorry, please.
Nigeria is a country that loves to embrace failure.
And celebrate it.
Our leaders love embracing failure.
Part of the agreement is that...
Hold on. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in all sincerity, should he be embracing France at this point in time? When Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger have said to France, you are our problem. You have caused us so much pain. Yet, Nigeria has woken up. The giant of Africa is now crawling to France, to the same country that other small, minute African countries have rejected.
They are colonial.
Is it not the height of, mediocrity? Does it not show you that we are lacking leaders with vision? We are lacking leaders with ideas. We are lacking leaders that can stand and speak the truth. Whether we like it or not, France is only interested in the mineral resources in Nigeria.
Well, it seems very obvious.
And that is the only thing they're coming for. There's nothing else. That is why you see a Macron tweeting in broken. He will soon start speaking Yoruba language.
So you think that the reason for this MOUs that were signed in France, and also the 300 million, euros that was also part of this MOU is just for mineral resources.
If France,
even when Wale Edun says that the French bilateral relations with Nigeria is going to make Nigerian youths to be more employed.
If France had 300 million and Mali and Burkina Faso
and Niger
that need more money than Nigeria, it's chasing them away.
Oh,
what is the economic sense? What is the common sense in all of this?
It's very terrible.
See, let us look at Nigeria well. Nigeria has close to 300 mineral occurrences. Now, out of these 300, 33 mineral occurrences are of the best value in the world. They can be compared to any mineral resources in the world.
The best. Even our gold is the best.
Now, with all of these mineral resources, France does not have the technology for mining.
But
if you are looking for a country that has technology,
calm down.
If you are looking for a country that has the technology for mining. You go to Australia.
So you're saying that the MOU that also have it that
This MOU is fraud. It is scam.
With France
it is another way of France to scam Nigerians.
They're saying that with France coming in now, they say something about how they're going to help to reduce the water consumption and even the carbon emission during the mining activities. But let's get
See, all I'm saying is that from day one, Buhari, when he became president, he sold.
Can you give us this with your concluding thought? Will it be possible?
He sold the sovereignty of Nigeria to UK.
And even China.
And China. Bola Tinubu is selling the sovereignty of Nigeria to France.
Yes.
On a platter of gold.
Let's bring in Desmond Anyango. He is part of us from Port Harcourt Station. Good morning once again, Desmond Anyango. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, I would like you to unmute your device for proper communication. All right, but Barrister Darlington, let's get to your concluding thought.
Yes. Do respond to the question asked.
Good. What I'm saying in essence, please, you see this arrangement with France, it will not work.
It will not work?
It will not
working already.
It is not.
It might work at the detriment
Look,
of Nigeria.
remember when Buhari came in. Look, whenever I'm talking to you or doing analysis, I don't just look at the president. I look at what happened in the past. Because if you know what happened in the past, you know where you are and where you are going. We literally became part of China under Buhari. At a point, they relocated the presidency to China. Say they are going to turn the yuan into naira so that your business will be easy and all that. It happened here. What happened after? Moses, what happened after 8 years of Buhari? So what makes you think that things will change now when Tinubu told you that he will continue where Buhari stopped? So of all the people that will help Nigeria, do you know that France is the weakest economy in Europe? The biggest economy in Europe today is Germany. Are you aware? You didn't go to somebody who is buoyant financially to help you. It is somebody who is looking for a succor like you. You think that France is happy to have lost their colony in West Africa and you couldn't help them to come back? So what makes you think that this arrangement will help Nigeria? Look, the only reason why Tinubu is doing this is because when Macron was an ambassador here, they had a friendship. Moses, I told you here that our leaders, everything they are doing is all about selfish interest, not for the interest of the whole country. I've said it here severally. And nobody have disappointed me. So because you have friendship with Macron, therefore, you will now surrender Nigeria to him to come and make our mineral resources. Is it not a shame that you are calling someone to come and make your mineral resources? You have what Obi of Onitsha said now, that Nigerian leaders are making
making us dry.
Like a cow. That the cow will soon dry. Obi of Onitsha. Is that not what is going on? When they come, they will loot and loot and loot. Moses, as I talked to you this morning, EFCC said that they discovered one estate.
Yes.
753 duplexes built by one man in government.
But they are not telling us who
they will mention his name. Let it be Nwachukwu or Okori. Hey, they'll flash it all over the place. That's what we are saying here.
All right,
where did he get the money? They say he's in government. At least they were able to identify him. So this thing you are telling me now, I will never believe this because I know it will never help Nigeria. It has never helped us.
We'll take that to be a concluding thought.
We are not a francophone country. We are anglophone.
Thank you so much.
So why will a French country come and help you?
That's a good place to anchor. Now,
aspiring for Nigeria to be like Taiwan, to be like Singapore, to be like China, cannot be achieved with lip service. We need disciplined leaders to be able to achieve that.
Thank you.
And right now in Nigeria, we do not have any discipline.
I'm telling you.
So to end that, thank you so much, Prince Francis Chilakai, political analyst, and thank you so much, Barrister Darlington Agomo, for being part of today's show.
Thank you, Fina.
On behalf of my colleague Moses Humphrey, I'm Fina Okechukwu. Enjoy the rest of your day and do well to join the newspaper review proper at 9 a.m. on Voice of the People Television. Bye for now.